Hey, how's it going, everybody? Sarasota Tim, coming to you from Georgia. On my way north of Atlanta. I'll stay a night, maybe two, at my subscribers that came to see me in Boynton a couple months ago. And Larry and Denise and her sister and her husband. I'm going to stay at Larry and Denise's house. They've got a place for the RV to sit on the side there, and they've been really good friends since we've made our acquaintance together and meeting each other down there in Boynton. So it's very close to my daughter's house, but I will not be seeing her because she is leaving to Wisconsin to take my grandson up there, and so I'm going to miss her. Maybe I can catch her on the way back or around the loop. But I'm mile marker 90, northbound I-75 in Georgia, heading to north of the Atlanta area. And it's Sunday, and I actually took this route because, remember, I don't want anything to do with that Louisiana, those trestles. And yeah, cruise control is, I got my first hill here. I'm getting into some hilly area. We'll talk about the truck in a minute. I didn't want anything to do with I-10, and I didn't want anything to do with it bringing me into Dallas. So I was going to get up to Atlanta to avoid the 10, the southern route, and then take 20 and then get off before Dallas and go to the 40, and then 40 all the way across to the west, of which I'm either going to go to Moab, Cedar City, Utah, back to the Tropicana in Laughlin, Nevada for $75 a week and stay a month in the parking lot. They've got a free dump and free water, and you can run your generator 24/7. But what I like about it, what I'm thinking about it, is I'm centrally located to go bang around other places with just the Tundra, and you know, you can't believe a damn thing I say. So I would go back to Vegas maybe and do a do-over to try to video it, and leave the camper there in Laughlin. But it was $50 a week, but they raised it to $75, still a deal. But the thing is, it's getting kind of warm during the day, you know, like 90. But that's no warmer than it is with the heat index in Florida. And I got air conditioning with the generator, but the thing is at night, it drops down to 64 degrees. So, and that's for a while yet, another month, all of May. It doesn't stay 100 degrees 24 hours a day until, you know, June and July. So I'm thinking about that. Lake Havasu, a lot of RVs go down there, but I really just don't know. But I do know one thing, I'm not doing Dallas, and so I'm heading already north to the mid part of the country, to the 40, and then that'll take me all the way to Albuquerque, and I can get on old Route 66. You hear that engine screaming? Somebody told me, don't use cruise control, and you can eliminate that. If I just hold my foot on the gas, I can eliminate it shifting down, because I've got some hills here. Atlanta is one of the highest altitude cities in the entire United States, metropolitan cities, at 1,000 feet above sea level. So I'm starting to climb now. But let me talk about the truck and the weight and the towing and everything else. Okay, so I went, let me just take the cruise control off. That way you don't have to hear the engine screaming. The problem is when I took the cruise off earlier, I'm doing dead on 60 miles an hour, just like I said I would. And that is wonderful. I'm actually, seems like I'm really moving, man. I'm really making some time. I'm getting some miles in, and I don't feel wore out. Everyone's going by me. I'm sitting over here in the right lane, 60 miles an hour, and man, 10 miles back, Don't play in Georgia. Back there in, what's it called, Ashburn or something? It's always been a speed trap. Always. There was no less than 5 on both sides, blue light specials going on. So I went to the scales at Love's, just 5 miles from my house when I left. There was a Love's gas station, truck stop. It cost me $14 for this too. And it doesn't really give me the information I was wanting. But when you go on the scale, it weighs the truck, it weighs the camper, and it weighs both together. It doesn't do the weight of the front axle, the weight of the rear axle. I mean, at least she didn't tell me to do it that way. She was on a speaker. I pushed a button. I said, this is my first time. I'm a tourist. You know, what do I do? And so she told me. I guess she had a little camera there too. So she said, pull up a little bit more. I got my truck tires. There's two scales. The one that the vehicle gets on, and then there's a gap, and there's another big scale. 7,520 pounds the truck weighed. I made adjustments, don't worry. Camper weighed 6,540 pounds. Okay? The truck from the factory, curb weight, which is the dry weight, just an empty truck, I think is about 6,300 pounds, 6,000 pounds. So there's 1,500 pounds that the truck weighs more than it comes, you know, from the factory. Well, I've got a 1,300 pound 1290 payload. So let's say the truck weighs 6,000. I'm 1,500. No. Cancel that. The truck weighs, I can't get a definitive answer. I think there's something in my owner's manual maybe, but the truck weighs between 53 and 6,000. I guess if a four-wheel drive, they're heavier. Put mine at 55. I weigh 75. It's 2,000 pounds, but I can only put just under, might as well say 1,300 payload. All right, so take 13 off the 2,000. I'm still over, what, 700 pounds? Is that right? You guys know my math. So I had all those batteries back here and things. The trailer has a dry weight of 6,100 pounds. And I put about a half a tank of water up in the front. And so it doesn't weigh much over, just a few hundred pounds. How is that possible? I got my clothes, pots and pans. Paper towels. I guess it doesn't. That's about it. 6,540 pounds. It can weigh a maximum of 8,000, 7,800. So I'm way under the maximum allowable gross vehicle weight of the camper. But the truck is weighing in at 7,500 pounds. Before I took some stuff out and put it in the camper, I'm probably down about 7,200. I probably took about 250, maybe 300 pounds out of here. Maybe. So, and I got the battery and the generator and all that sitting right at the end of the bed, plus the tongue weight. So anyway, it's very confusing, right? 14,000 pounds. 14,060 pounds is what the truck and the camper weigh on a scale. The truck can pull a 10,000 pound trailer. They say 80% is ideal of that. That'd be 8,000 pounds. Well, I only weigh 65, so I'm good there. But the truck should only have 1,300 additional pounds put in it from what it weighs from the factory. I think it's like 5,500 pounds. So that would be 67, and I'm 75. Yeah. I guess a lot of that's got to be on that tongue weight. Pushing down on that tongue, because I don't have that generator and a couple of propane bottles, my e-bike, and you know, I got a few of those lithium batteries back here. I might have, I don't know, not that much. So 55 is the truck. It can hold 13 more. At 65, 68, I'm 700 pounds over. It's quite a bit. Although it's driving like a dream. And dead on 60, it's doing just fine. In fact, when I take it off cruise and hold the throttle, the gas pedal, so it doesn't shift down as quickly as the cruise control makes it do, it wants to do 65. Like right now, I'm talking and I'm not paying attention. I'm only doing 55. And I've got it in 5th gear. It's a 6-speed transmission. I've got it shifted down 1 gear for towing. And I'm only doing, right now it's going to shift back in a second. Hang on. At 60 miles an hour, I'm doing 1,900, 1,800, 2,000 RPMs. Doesn't redline till 6,000 RPMs. So it can do 60, you know, all day long without a problem. But when I first started driving, I was feeling like, you know, first you feel, you imagine everything. I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, this is not good. It's swaying, it's swerving, it's too heavy. I stopped at Love's, I weighed it, I put more air in all the tires, the trailer and the truck, not overinflated. I took the batteries out of the back here and the refrigerator and put it in the camper because it weighs something, but nothing compared to what this is able to pull. And added that, so I probably have the trailer now up to from 65 to maybe 68. That's still 1,000 pounds under what it's able to have, because it can take full black tank, full gray tank, and full freshwater tank. And a couple of those tanks are like 54 gallons. My black tank is 30 gallons. Obviously I have no gray water in there because I'm not holding any, because I haven't taken a shower or anything. And I actually purged some of the, it's got a valve, man. You can drop that straight down, that fresh water, pipe that big. Pull this lever, water just drops. And I emptied some of the fresh water. I'm like, why do I need to pull around all that water and wait? So, you ready for the gas mileage? Let's see what it says. It's been saying, until I started making this video, 10.2 miles per gallon. Let's see what it says now. All right. Where are we at? 10.3. So that's double digits, baby. I'll take that. And I'm getting there too. Oh, I gotta slow it down, doing 63. Let's get it back down to 60. Come on now, Baker. There ain't no race out here. So I'm gonna go to the subscriber's house. I'll stay tonight, probably stay tomorrow night, and then I'll leave the next morning, bright and early. And that'll be fun. We'll have a good time. And then I'll bounce some ideas off of them. Dean called me from Vegas. You guys remember Dean? Remember the guys video we made in Laughlin? We had George and Tim and Dean and Isaac. And Dean lives in Vegas. And he called me, watches all the videos. And he said, yeah, if you get out this way, I'll take you out on the boat on the Colorado River. And you know what? Just because he said that, I started thinking about the temperatures are warming up out there since I was there, but the temperatures at night are still very comfortable. And because I'm really not wanting to go too far north just yet, and I really don't know where the heck I'm going, I thought I really had a good time there, and it's really cheap. And even though they had fresh water and dump, I had the teardrop, which I couldn't use it, and it was included. So now I can pull up on that pavement, on that parking lot, and whenever I need to dump, which probably won't even be, because I'll use it sparingly, because you have to drive the motorhome over there. It's, you know, it's up the parking lot a little bit. I guess it's no big deal. Water, I should never run out. I'll fill it up. And between the showers in the camper and going to Planet Fitness over in Bullhead City, I've got my own new home base for $300 for a month, $75 a week. So I'm really tempted to go there and to swim in the Colorado River daily and stay cool and eat Mexican at Orioles. Oh my gosh, I just thought of that. Oh my gosh, I'm going. And then Dean will come over with the boat. He's got a real boat that really works. You remember Robert with the Go Fast surfboard boat, the jet boat? I never heard from Robert again. He had that really cool dog, that Shepherd, and that big bus. I reached out to him a couple of times, but he never got back. He was selling his home in California. His mother passed some time ago. He sold the home, nothing but profit, and was going to buy like a double wide, and he was looking over there in that area, somewhere in Arizona. What he decided to do, I don't know. But he had plenty of choices. So anyway, I wish he would reach out to me. I really do. I enjoyed talking to Robert. We had a good time. We had a saying together that was called. He started it. It's his saying. His saying was, "Stop yelling at me." And when he first said it, I thought, I didn't know I was. I'm sorry. And it's just something he's got his own saying. So we started saying it back and forth to each other and making up some new ones. Anyway, yeah, we hit it off. I met these cool dudes up there. I made some buddies. And of course, I'll be close enough for Tim to come back over. He loves Laughlin. He's already been back twice since I left. Tim will come back around. And who knows, Isaac might make his way back down there. He's up in northern Nevada somewhere with his diesel Class B. He said it's still too chilly to get up to the High Sierras, where he wants to go and see the the big redwoods, the big trees up in Northern California. But when it does get really, really hot, and it's going to be, July, June, next month, yeah, I'll make my way to, Reno, northern area, get up on the 80, get all the way up there into Wyoming, maybe Yellowstone, maybe take a trek all the way across, eventually over to New York, where Ted and Jolene are, Maine. But that's a maybe. That's a maybe. I maybe don't even want to go back to the east. I maybe want to stay out west and go from the north in the west to the south in the west. From now the heck on. Dang it, Florida. I don't know, folks. But I know that I'm trusting in the Lord to help me and where to go. I'm a lot happier and more content than I was when I left this morning, and thinking about everything yesterday, like, hey, where are you going? What are you doing? Is the truck going to work? Read comments. Oh, you need a big truck. Oh, your truck's fine. Oh. Then I got out there this morning, and first time towing the Flagstaff in a while. I don't know. I guess it was kind of breezy. That's another thing. Wait till I get out west where those big winds are, where they have those windmills, those big electric turbine windmills. Oh, I got a profile vehicle here. So lots of disconcerting things if I want to, worry, but I'm not going to. I'm already becoming more relaxed. I love the 60 miles an hour. I love this double digit 10.3 miles per gallon. I know that's not good gas mileage, but I also didn't give $800 rent tomorrow. So that buys a lot of gas. And where I'm going is going to be cheap if I go there. And there's other Arizona and places, they're full. They're so RV friendly. It's so open out there, the roads. It's so RV, it's made for it. You got Lake Havasu, Quartzsite, all these places that RVs go. Blythe, Parker. Of course, Tucson and those areas in the summer, that would be nowhere near where anybody would want to be. It's 112 degrees at midnight. And even though it's a dry heat, it's hot. It's like a furnace. So I'll be in the north, but I've got time. I'm going to go to Moab maybe. Vegas is close to Utah. Jeff and his wife Shelly, they're moving to Utah because their daughter lives in Vegas. And it's just a hop, skip, and a jump. These places sound foreign to me. And when I hear Vegas, Utah, Cedar City, and Bullhead City, you just don't realize they're not that far apart. But when I talk about cities over in Florida, or Charleston, Atlanta, from West Palm, Tampa, those places, it's the same thing. Geographically, Jacksonville, they're all, a day ride. Same thing out west, but I'm mixing it up. All new places. And man, there's no finer place than when I was out there last month in that Bullhead City and in Laughlin. Those cool evenings and beautiful days and that clear sky, and those gorgeous mountains and that beautiful desert. Buy me a little desert toy. Hook this thing up to some RV park out there and buy myself a little, side-by-side, little quad, small trailer. Hook it up to the back of the Tundra. Take it to where, it's safe to pull off-road. I don't have a four-wheel drive. A nice road. You take it, it's everywhere out there. For off-roading, I could be off-roading again, man. Like the sand rail. Glamis. Heck, San Diego and, Apple Valley, where Tim lives, is only 5 hours. California. It's so exciting about these places. I'd turn the camera around, folks, and show you what I'm looking at, but it's nothing. It's nothing. It's a freeway, and I'll show you some when we get up here. It gets to be pretty when I get north of Atlanta, or get around Atlanta. I'll show you some stuff. And starting tomorrow, or whenever I leave my subscribers, Larry and Denise's house, I'll be in God's country. Something to show you. So all that's coming. Stay tuned. I got the weight worked out. I probably got about 350 pounds over my payload capacity. But, all these numbers are conservative from the manufacturer. They're not going to put numbers out that are like, if you go anywhere near them, you're going to, the truck's going to snap in half. So, like right now, it's shifting down because I'm trying to use the cruise. But if I take it off and I use my foot and I keep it in fifth, I'm running 1900 RPMs. I'm doing 60. It's running cold as ice. I got all these gauges, 10.3 miles per gallon. And I don't have to say I left some of my stuff. Everything I own is in the back of this truck and in that camper. There's no reason to feel like, I'm 2,000 miles away from this stuff that I own, this stuff that I have in storage, and I'm paying, and I'm not even going to be back there for 3 or 4 months. When people take vacations and go on a cruise, or they take a cross-country trip and they're gone 2 weeks, even 3 weeks, that's a long vacation for some people that still work. They have to pay for that vacation and still pay for their mortgage, their taxes, their utilities, and all the stuff at their home base. That's the way it is. But when you can check out and you can be retired and you have no debt and you own everything, and you can say, I'm not even going to leave my camper and pull a small one like I thought and I did do it. And it was fun. I'll never forget that little camper and that kitchen in the back. That was fun. But knowing that I might find a place over here that I want to stay, like I did, and I know I don't want to stay in Florida for the next 6 months. I don't want to be in hot. I like cold, not snow. Cold, chilly, cool, nice, warm, but no hot. So, not having to pay that rent in Jacksonville, and I can apply all that to fuel, it just works, folks. It's just another blessing. It's another system that I've worked out, that maybe that's something that you can do. That when you get your retirement and you can make money on the side, people are campground hosts, people work for Amazon distribution centers. I've read about on YouTube, watch on YouTube, where people like to travel in RVs, how they can make money. You can work remotely. You can do all kinds of these little jobs. It's becoming more and more popular, this remote work, to get paid and supplement your Social Security so that you can be full-time on the road. Or you may have a job where you work 2 or 3 days a week, 20, 25 hours a week, but not full-time, and only 4 or 5 or 6 months a year. And you're off the other half of the year and you go travel. There's all kinds of ways. This is my way, and you can figure out a way to make it, modify it to your way. But it's great knowing and feeling the freedom. And I'm going to go one step further. And this is not to say I don't want to be with somebody or that you shouldn't be with somebody. But for this moment in time, to be solo even is bitching. I don't have to stop and go tinkle until I need to go. I don't have to debate what I'm going to eat. I don't have to debate, should I go this way or that way or the next town next, or let's go there. Not that I have any problem, compromising or stopping for someone to use the facilities. I'm just trying to think of things that, there's just small things that just make it that much cooler, that much freer. Free as a bird, man. I mean, the fact that I don't have to pay that rent in Jacksonville took a lot off of me. And it wasn't that much. It's just that, why do I want to be 2,000 miles away? If I want to go out west or up to Maine or wherever, even in Georgia, and stay several months to get out of the heat, but have to maintain a RV, and pay rent, or even a small storage unit for $200, $300, $400, $500 a month to store the RV, or a closet storage to put some totes in. I just got rid of it. I just made a yard sale. Do I use you? No? Get out of here. And now I don't have anything. I'm not paying for any storage whatsoever. The only thing I'm paying for is fuel, insurance, food you got to eat no matter where. And I'm going to make my own food. Except when I get to Bullhead City and I go to Orioles Mexican restaurant twice a day. Man, that carnitas in Jacksonville, I think it was better than Orioles. The carnitas is a pork, and it's slow roasted, but then it's fried slightly with a little crunch on it. And man, the last 2 times I got it at No Manches, it had that crunch on it. You could tell it was so authentic. Now, someone told me in comments, and I know this is true, that you don't have to go to Tucson or Arizona, Bullhead City, or even New Mexico or Texas to get good Mexican food. You can find it throughout the country. The subscriber explained that if you can chew, quote unquote, a little Spanish, and you can ask Hispanic people in your area where a good Mexican food restaurant is, they generally know. $3.18 a gallon right there, getting cheaper. They can usually put you on the place. In fact, my subscriber up here sent me a picture of carnitas tacos and carne asada tacos. Carnitas is pork, and he called it steak, but it's actually carne asada is what the Mexicans call their steak tacos. It's a thin steak. They beat it and hammer it, and it's real good and tender, marinated. And then you chop it. Not hamburger meat like the way I make Baker tacos. So, and he showed me a picture. And these were real authentic tacos because they didn't have the Baker taco, cheese, lettuce, sour cream, blah, 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 blah. It had just a little sprinkled onions and some cilantro and salsa. And they were smaller shells too. And they were corn, but they were soft. They weren't fried like I do mine. That's really authentic. And that's what I want. I want to go there where he went today. Buc-ee's, 22 miles, ethanol-free fuel. 22. This is Warner Robins. I've been there before. In fact, I ran into a subscriber there. So if you want to meet me at Buc-ee's, I'll be there in a half an hour. And come by and say hello here in Georgia. So that's going to be it for this video, folks. 35-minute video. You're up to date. I know that you were probably wondering after the devotional this morning about what's going on, where I'm at. Did I leave? Did I not leave? Where am I going? That's still up in the air. But right now, tonight, I'm heading to North Georgia to Larry and Denise's. I wish I could have saw my daughter. That was the intention. But she's going to Wisconsin to drop off my grandson, I suppose. And I'll catch her on the flip-flop. So anyway, guys, get out there and crush it.